And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. I hope you are all well. Guys, big development that has emerged today, of which we're going to be discussing in today's video, is with regards to the upcoming Old Firm game, or should I say the one after the upcoming Old Firm game. And that is, of course, for the Scottish Cup clash in the quarterfinal at Ibrox. Of course, listen, there has been a lot of talk ahead of that game. But there is seemingly a development saying that Celtic are going to be given the full Brumlin stand. Now, again, this, of course, does divide opinion, so to speak. However, Celtic fans are reeling with the news that, of course, they're going to be getting a full stand at Ibrox, and, of course, laughing at the fact that people that usually would sit there aren't going to be able to take their seats. However, I'm actually not opposed to it. I grew up in the Old Firm games, of course, in the noughties, and they were fantastic. A real good spectacle when there was a large amount of away fans in the ground. So, honestly, I'm not too fussed about them having a full stand, in all honesty. And actually, I would go as far to say that I would like to see the full allocation brought back for both Old Firm games. It just makes the derby what it is. Right? I mean, we've seen this derby played out over the last couple of years with zero fans. And whilst I think from an Ibrox perspective, it was still enjoyable. It was still a great atmosphere just because of the occasion. Having that extra level of spice takes the game to another level. It really does. And whilst the away fans have been back, and it is good, there was nothing like the days, of course, when they got the full stand at Ibrox and we got a big stand, of course, at Celtic Park. It just made the spectacle even sweeter. But this is what's being said as we speak right now. A lot of different sources coming out and saying that Celtic will likely get the full Brumlin, and that's going to be the case. This is a huge development, so to speak, and fair play. But why can't this be used as the step going forward? I know the Scottish Cup allocation is completely different to that of the league. However, it just makes it much more glorious. And if Celtic fans didn't start crying about Ryan Kent and his celebration, then we probably would have still had the same allocation. They were the reason, by the way, as to why we don't have why we didn't have fans in these clashes for a very, very long time. And they're the reason why we don't get the full allocation, because, they were pissed off with Ryan Kent and the way that he was celebrating. They didn't like it. So that's the issue here. But they should be getting around. If this goes ahead really well, and as I said, it's been confirmed that it is going to be this case, then it should be the step for moving forward. We should be having more Old Firm clashes like this. But guys, quiet week, not too much going on. Obviously preparing ourselves for Livingston, who's next, of course. An away game, must win, no excuses. I'm not taking any more excuses from this Rangers team. If, we've fantastic victory against Hearts last weekend, but we've got a game a week now, and it should be a case of just, notching these off every single time we play them. And Livingston away, yes, can be tricky sometimes. However, if we want to be title winners, there is no room for, mistakes and, drop points anymore. There isn't. We need to be winning, and we need to win against Livingston. But guys, still let me know your thoughts on the allocation for the Old Firm clash.
In other news, former Scotland international and current Dundee FC manager Stephen Pressley has admitted his surprise that neither Rangers nor Celtic formalised their interest in Luke Graham during the winter transfer window, despite both clubs closely monitoring the defender's progress. Graham, 22, has been one of the most consistent performers at Dens Park this season, emerging as a commanding presence at the heart of the back line, while the Dark Blues battle to secure their top-flight status. His composure in possession, aerial authority, and maturity beyond his years have drawn admiring glances from across the Scottish Premiership, and increasingly from further afield. Pressley did not hide his admiration when addressing the media on the 18th of February, expressing both pride in his player and disbelief at the lack of concrete January movement from the Old Firm. The only thing that surprised me was that neither Celtic or Rangers looked to be pursuing him in January, Pressley said. He's maybe a couple of steps away, but I believe that Luke's a Premier League player. News of them being interested doesn't surprise me at all. That belief that Graham has the attributes to eventually thrive in England's top flight speaks volumes. Pressley himself, a former defender with extensive experience at elite level, is not prone to hyperbole. His assessment suggests that Graham's development curve is steep, and that with the right environment, the ceiling could be considerably higher than many initially anticipated. At Ibrox, interest appears more than tentative. Rangers technical director Dan Purdy was recently spotted personally scouting Graham at Dens Park, underlining the seriousness of their evaluation process. With defensive reshaping likely this summer, the timing of that visit is unlikely to be coincidental. John Sotar's contract is entering its final months, and the Scotland international could depart as a free agent at the end of the campaign. His potential exit would immediately leave a void in terms of experience and leadership. Compounding the issue, Rangers' centre-back department is already in flux. Last summer, the club invested significantly in defensive reinforcements, bringing in Emmanuel Fernandez, Nasser Jiga, and Derek Cornelius. However, both Jiga and Cornelius arrived on loan deals and are scheduled to return to their parent clubs at the end of the season. That scenario would leave manager Danny Roll with limited depth in a critical area of the pitch. The strain on resources has been evident throughout the campaign. Dujon Sterling and James Tavernier, primarily deployed in wide roles, have both been asked to fill in at centre-back due to injuries and squad shortages. While their versatility has proven valuable, it is not a sustainable long-term solution for a club with title ambitions and European aspirations. Graham, by contrast, represents a profile aligned with succession planning. Young, physically robust, technically comfortable, and already acclimatized to the demands of Scottish football. His performances for Dundee have not merely been steady, they have been influential. In high-pressure fixtures amid a relegation fight, he has demonstrated resilience and leadership traits that belie his age. Meanwhile, the situation surrounding Derek Cornelius adds another layer of complexity. The Canadian international, signed on loan from Olympique Marseille, had grown into an important figure before suffering an injury setback in late November. Although he is expected to return to action soon, questions remain about whether he can re-establish himself and, crucially, whether Rangers will exercise the option to make his move permanent. That decision will require careful consideration. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.